Socrates. Just the name conjures up images. A grumpy old man with a beard, a philosopher who strolled through the lively marketplace of Athens, immersing himself in conversation with everyday citizens. He wasn't writing books or giving lectures. Socrates preferred to talk. To anyone who would listen, really. And talk he did, but not in a way you might expect. Socrates wasn't interested in lecturing people. He encouraged people to think independently by posing thought-provoking questions. Then another, and another. Each question peeling back a layer of assumption. People found this infuriating. They were used to being told what to think. Socrates wanted them to work for it. He wasn't being cruel. Socrates believed this was the only way to find truth. Not his truth, mind you, but their own. He was a gadfly, buzzing around, stinging people with questions. Annoying, perhaps, but necessary, because Socrates knew something vital. The unexamined life is not worth living. His method, known as the Socratic method, was revolutionary. It involved asking a series of questions to stimulate critical thinking and to draw out ideas and underlying presumptions. This method was not just about finding answers, but about questioning the very questions themselves. It was a way to challenge the status quo and to encourage deeper understanding. His followers, including Plato, were deeply influenced by his approach. Despite his contributions, Socrates faced opposition and was eventually put on trial. He was sentenced to death by drinking hemlock, but his legacy lived on. His ideas continued to shape Western philosophy for centuries to come. Even today, the Socratic method is used in classrooms and discussions around the world. Socrates may have been a gadfly, but his sting was one that awakened minds and inspired generations. Socrates had a method to his madness. He wasn't just asking questions for the sake of it. We call it, unsurprisingly, the Socratic method. This method was his way of peeling back the layers of our thoughts. It's deceptively simple. Start with a question. But not just any question. Any question will do, as long as it's about something important, something that makes you think deeply. Let's say someone claims to be brave. What does that really mean? Socrates might ask, what is bravery? Is it just a word, or is there more to it? Easy, you think. Bravery is facing danger without fear. But is it really that simple? But Socrates would press on. He wouldn't let you off the hook that easily. Is it brave to rush into danger foolishly, or is there a deeper understanding of bravery? Or is true bravery about knowing when to fight and when to retreat? Is it about wisdom and discernment? See what he did there? He took a simple idea and turned it inside out. He made you question your own beliefs. He exposed the assumptions we have without even realizing it. He made the familiar seem strange. This is the heart of the Socratic method. It's a journey of discovery. It's not about finding the right answers. It's about the process of questioning. It's about asking the right questions. And this was revolutionary. It changed the way people thought. Athens was a place of big ideas, sure, but these ideas were often handed down from authority figures. Socrates challenged that. He questioned the status quo. He said, don't trust me, don't trust anyone, think for yourselves, question everything, and find your own truth. Now, Athens had its fair share of teachers. They were called sophists, and they were very clever. They taught rhetoric, the art of persuasion. Want to win an argument? The sophists could teach you how, for a price, of course. Socrates had no time for this. He believed that wisdom wasn't something you could buy or sell. It was something you had to discover for yourself. He never charged a fee for his conversations. He saw knowledge as a gift, something to be shared freely. The sophists were all about winning arguments. Socrates was about finding truth. He didn't care about sounding clever. He cared about getting to the heart of the matter. He believed that true wisdom came from understanding your own ignorance. Here's the thing about Socrates. He claimed to know nothing. This might seem paradoxical, especially for someone who has been hailed as one of the greatest minds in history. Now that might sound strange coming from a man considered one of the wisest men alive, but he meant it. Socrates wasn't just being humble, he was making a profound point about the nature of knowledge and wisdom. He didn't pretend to have all the answers. Instead, he embraced the idea that true wisdom comes from recognizing the limits of your own understanding. In fact, he believed that the more you learn, the more you realize how little you know. This realization was not a sign of weakness, but a starting point for genuine inquiry and learning. This wasn't some sort of false modesty. It was a genuine acknowledgement of the vastness of knowledge and the limitations of human understanding. Socrates believed that true wisdom began with acknowledging your own ignorance. By admitting what you don't know, you open yourself up to new possibilities and deeper understanding. Only then could you start asking the right questions, questions that lead to meaningful insights and discoveries. Only then could you start to learn. Learning for Socrates was a lifelong journey, not a destination. He famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This statement challenges us to remain curious and open-minded. Think about that for a moment. It's a powerful idea. It encourages us to question our assumptions and seek deeper truths. It's also a dangerous one, because if you start questioning everything, you might not like the answers you find. But it's through this process that true wisdom and understanding are achieved. So embrace the unknown, question boldly, and remember that the journey to wisdom begins with the simple admission that you don't know everything.